Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Getting the truth, folks. So we've been demonetized by YouTube since February, which has been tough. It's taken away 60% of our revenue, but a great way to support the show is do what Lauren D'Alessandro has done and go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood. You get bonus content. You get access to all the live streams, the archive of the live streams. You get government secrets. You get all this stuff. And you can submit articles if you're at the $5 article tier, like Lauren D'Alessandro has done. Minimum wage workers can't afford rent anywhere in America. Anywhere. In CNN Business. There is no state, county, or city in the country where a full-time minimum wage worker working a 40-hour a week can afford a two-bedroom rental, a report from the National Low-Income Housing Coalition. Nowhere, not nowhere, can afford a two-bedroom rental. A full-time minimum wage worker can afford a one-bedroom rental in only 7% of all U.S. counties. 218 out of over 3,000 counties in the United States. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. But you be like, well, other cities like Los Angeles, their minimum wage is like $13, $14 an hour. I'm going to get to that in a second. The rents are so out of control in bigger cities that even a $15 minimum wage isn't enough. We can't even get that from the Democrats. The squad, the fraud squad, Bernie, none of them. That's why I'm done. I'm done. I will never vote for the Democrats. I will never give them money. I'm not going to have any progressive Democrats on this show. I'm not. I'm sorry. They do nothing. Once they get into power, they do nothing. I'm so glad Paula Jean's left and is with the People's Party. I got mad respect for her for doing that. I'm so glad she did that. But let's get into more of it, right? So only 7% of all counties can a minimum wage worker afford a one-bedroom apartment. But the report showed that a worker would need to earn $24.90 per hour in order to afford a two-bedroom home at fair market rent, and a 20 to 40 housing wage would be needed for a one-bedroom. $24.90 to a two-bedroom. And when we talk about a housing wage, you might be like, Graham, what's a housing wage? Well, this is what they mean by a housing wage. A housing wage is the amount a worker would need to earn to afford a home without spending more than 30% of their income on rent and utilities, which most Americans aren't even in that spot. Most people, they used to say, like, the amount of money you make in a week, that's what you should spend on rent. You add utilities, that's where you get 30%, right? That's 25% of your, that's what you make a week. So if you make, $800 a week, that's what you should spend on rent. Well, that's not possible. Most people are spending 50% of their wages on rent. The average renter's hourly wage is $18.78, an income that can absorb only $9.77 a month in rent without being housing cost burdened. See, just so we're clear here, they're saying you would need to earn $24.90 per hour for a two-bedroom, $20.40 for a one-bedroom. That's with the 30% of your income, right? But the average renter's hourly wage is $18.78, an income that can only absorb $9.77 a month in rent without being housing cost burdened. So this is why before the pandemic, 60% of Americans couldn't afford a $500 to $1,000 emergency. Couldn't afford it because they were barely getting by. The average renter in 17 states, including California, Florida, and New York, earns at least $5 below the state's average two-bedroom housing wage. They can't afford it. But we always got money for war. We just bombed Somalia. The Senate just gave Joe Biden extra $25 billion of a war budget that was already at $743 billion. So it was already outspending the next 10 countries combined. Now it's like the next 15 countries or something. It's insane. It's insane. Let's just go to California, where I'm at. A person in California needs to earn $39.03 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom apartment and $31.06 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, the wages in California are more. Yeah, because if you're driving for Lyft or Grubhub, you're doubtfully making $15 an hour. Doubtful. The tips are really good. Maybe the surge pricing gets you at $15-16 an hour, but that's still half what you're going to need for a 1-bedroom in California. An unprecedented amount of federal emergency rent relief, $46 billion, was set aside to provide relief for struggling renters and their frustrated landlords. $46 billion? That's nothing. That's not even $1 billion a state. Like, and I get it, like a small state like Delaware, Rhode Island or something is going to get less than a state like Texas or New York or California or something that has Florida that has a big population, but it's still not enough. I mean, all these states have rent relief programs, and if you're in trouble, I urge you to apply for it. But is it going to run out? Are the states going to have enough of this? $46 billion is nothing. We gave trillions to Wall Street in all of the stimulus, all the CARES Act. The CARES Act sent you $1,200 check, but gave millionaires and billionaires far more. This is from the first stimulus a year ago. The stimulus checks were meant to get average Americans through the lockdown, but these $1,200 payouts were small change compared with the billions in tax breaks in the CARES Act handed out to the country's wealthiest. And it's not just tax breaks. These big companies were given stimulus money and PPP loans, and they still laid people off. Tom Brady got $900,000 for his vitamin company, and he bought a yacht. Congress stalls on stimulus checks for families where corporations continue to reap millions from CARES Act. The IRS is still issuing retroactive tax refunds to companies, many of which are thriving amid the coronavirus pandemic. Now, we know the number of billionaires has increased during the pandemic, but Americans can't even afford a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. How? But we're bombing Somalia. We're bombing Syria. Biden just gave more money to ICE. He's increasing the budget to police departments. But you and I can barely pay our rent. But our tax dollars are going to Wall Street, big corporations, and the military. Boy, this pulling Biden to the left, man, it's really working, isn't it? Man, I'm so glad we're so pulling him to the left. Let me guess, neoliberals. Just not now. Wait till the midterms. Don't be hard on the squad. There are allies in Congress. No, they're not. If they're not voting for these things. So which Democrats in the Senate just voted for this budget increase for the military? Where's the squad and the progressive caucus? And where are they? Where are they fighting for? Why didn't they just demand that there's, $500 billion in rent relief for Americans? Direct payments to renters who pay their landlords. So now the renters are good, the landlords are good, and the banks get their money. Everybody wins if they would have done it that way, but they didn't, because it's by design. They want you to foreclose. They want renters to not be able to pay their money. So the small business owner landlords, and there's many of them. Some of them are big corporations that are carless, but a lot of them are just regular people that own a little rental property, or they converted their garage into a studio apartment or something, or they bought a little townhouse that they rent out, and that's their income, and that's been gone because the person living there lost their job because of the pandemic. They got no help from the federal government because both parties don't give a shit about you. And now we're open back up to what? To go make wages that are below what it takes to pay for an apartment? All right, man. It's why I'm a supporter of the People's Party and the Green Party. Because we need a third party, man. We need a third party. We need something. We need some other option. We need something. Because both parties don't care because they're funded by Wall Street. They're all hanging out, flying on private jets and going to wine caves. That's why this is happening. And that's why there's going to be even more upward transference of wealth when the housing crisis hits, which it's going to happen. This shows you how bad the housing crisis is. People can barely afford to pay rent. And when the eviction moratorium ends, which it's ending very quickly nationwide, it's over. But yeah, man, keep voting for the lesser of two evils. It's still evil. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. But some people get the truth and they don't want it. They want to go back to thinking that their party is better than the other party. All right, good luck, man. Let me know how that goes. Let me know how that goes. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Hey, everybody, it's Graham Elwood. We are going on the road, Ron Placone and I, in September and October. Check GrahamElwood.com for tour dates, probably coming to a city near you. A lot of these shows have sold out in the past. We haven't been on the road in a year and a half because of the pandemic. Come out and join us. The post-pandemic comedy tour. Go to GrahamElwood.com for tickets. New cities being announced every day. Join us and support what we do at patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Blockchain cryptocurrency platform. Thank you. You're making Gotham great again. Boom.